welcome Mr. Mohammed Aldoseri, a close friend of mine, the Chief Information Security Officer and Chief Data Officer of Tasheel Finance in Saudi Arabia. It's good to see you again in this interview, and thank you very much for accepting this invitation to speak here.
Thank you, Ali.
You are dealing mostly with maybe the more interesting subject I'll talk about is data protection.
Yeah.
Since it's quite new for our region, and it's beginning to become regulated. So, tell me, how do you balance rapid digital growth with data protection, especially in the financial sector?
See, first of all, thank you, Ali. It's a great pleasure to be here and to be hosted the CyberCube. So let's start about emerging the data within the fintech. Okay. So I think we'd start from the beginning, when we start from the initial stage. So the cybersecurity data management should be involved from the stage one to understand the business objectives, the requirements, understand what they need from the cybersecurity, from the data management. Then we be pillars within the journey of the implementation of this requirement.
Okay. What is the role of a CDO, Chief Data Officer, in an organization?
Okay.
Is it something that could be subsidized inside the IT department or not?
Great question. CDO is one of the latest newly positions that we can see it, especially in Saudi Arabia. Chief Data Officer is responsible to govern the data and to implement the CDO framework, which is called National Data Management Office. His responsibility is to establish the Data Management Office. Basically, we need to have the ownership of the data, how the data is, the quality of the data, how it's mature. We need to put a pace for this data by have the risk assessment of the data, who's the owner of this data, and what the valuable can come from this data. So the CDO is more to establishing the governed part of the data management within the organization that later can be used in data analytics or forecasting to have accurate and valuable information.
And I believe extending this role also is to identify exactly what the data is going to be used for.
Yes.
I have a lot of breaches that happen from using customer data for marketing, etc. And that.
Yes.
How do you make sure that you do? Sometimes business wants to use the data, you say no.
On the top of the NDMO framework, which is implemented in Saudi Arabia, there is 15 pillars. 13 of them related to opening or establishing the data management office, and the 14th related to privacy data as a Saudi BDBL. The 15th, which is the data control, which is part of the NCA. So you need to first have establishing the data from the ownership, the steward of that data, then to personal data, to apply the articles, the 13 articles within the Saudi BDBL, then to protect this data. So today you don't have this flexibility to just use any PII within the organization without getting the consent from the data owner and from the data processor who processing this data.
Okay. Just to make it clear for the audience, what's a PII?
Yeah, it's a personal data protection law. It's a law that gives the right to the data owner to know about this data, what kind of information you're going to use that data, where will be my data is, and who will have access to it.
And that's PII?
The PII, it's personal information identification.
Okay.
PII. BDBL, it's a personal data protection law.
To protect the PII?
Yes. So basically for BDBL, personal data protection law, it's come with the three main perspectives. So we have a PII, personal identification information.
Okay.
PCI, the payment payment card industrial, which is related to credit card, and PHI related to personal health information.
Okay.
So this is the
on the
three
person,
main. Yes,
money, and health.
exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
it's just going holistic to protect the whole ecosystem of the data.
Exactly.
Okay, very good. That's interesting. Now, when you tell me about data management, if I'm an executive, a trigger for me will be money.
Yeah.
So how do you ensure the return on investment? How can I influence my management to invest in data protection?
Uh, First, if we go and check the regulators, and which is the driven here in the data management, we can see that if we are not comply with this framework, there is two things. There is like a fine, and there is a legal cases.
Okay.
So there is two main pillars here, our triggers that give the indicators to how important it is to apply and to invest on applying the personal data.
So I'm just avoiding compliance risk,
Yes,
non-compliance. And also reputation and other things also play a matter
exactly.
into that.
Exactly.
Convince them. I'm not sure about how much data protection systems cost.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's expensive.
It's depending how you can see the data, and it's depending what controls you can put in place. You can put today $1 million solution, and you can put 100,000. It's depending how you see the data, how important to the organization, and what type of data you need to protect, which is the crucial in the data governance part.
And I like a point when we mentioned about involving security from the beginning of the project. And data protection now has to come inside the project early on.
Yeah.
For probably data minimization, if you can talk about it.
Yes, yes. So basically, we're talking about the security by design and by default. Now we have a privacy by design and by default. So this is why we need to be wearing the same hats at the same time. Cybersecurity, data management should be present from day one to understand from a security perspective and from data governance perspective.